Hey everybody, this is Jenny Brandon, and this is another episode of Jenny Brandon's Work in Progress. And today I thought I'd tell you a little bit about my creative process. And we've talked a bit about the idea of creativity and how we get ideas, right? How we come up with ideas or stories that we want to tell in a piece. But a question that I get asked a lot is about my own personal creative process. And of course, every composer has a different process. So this is my way that I approach pieces, and it might be something that you love, it might be something that you never want to do, but I thought it's important as a composer that we share these ideas with each other to help spark creativity. So when I start writing, I have a couple tools that I use. And the first one is my box of colored pencils, right? And the other one is a stack of 11 by 17 paper, right? So why do I do this? This doesn't have anything to do with actually writing notes on paper. But for me, it's about road mapping the piece through before I even begin writing a single note on the page. The road mapping helps me to see more clearly where I'm going and where I want the piece and where and how I want the piece to develop. So I'll use the colored pencils to be the colors of motives, the colors of gestures. So maybe I pick a red one for something that's fast and chaotic, right? And I might scribble on the page. And then that gesture comes back again with that same red colored pencil and that same gesture. So I can visually start to see where the piece is going, right? And so if I flip this paper over, and I'm going to show you a piece that I'm actually working on. This is a piece for Susan Nelson and Jeff Barudin, and it's a bassoon and percussion piece. And so you can start to see, I'll hold it up a little closer here. You can start to see my markings on here, right? I've got down along the side here the instruments. I've got gestures here in different colors, right? And a bonus on this as well is that I'm using a poem by Carla Lynn Merrifield called Wood and Stone. And so I've actually got the poetry written across the top. So the poetry becomes an important part of the roadmap as well. So I've taken the piece and I've broken it down for myself in this roadmap that when I'm ready to write the piece, I can refer back to this and start to look at this and say, yeah, this is where I want to go. Or I might deviate really far away from it once I start writing. But I'm creating the gestures and then I'll begin to put the music to it. So, and it's not to say that during this process that I'm not actually thinking about notes and pitches and things like that. I do. But this really helps me as I sit down at the piano, right, and start to write out the piece with notes and pencil and paper. So, what's your creative process, right? What do you do to get yourself started as you write a piece? And for everybody, it's different. I feel like we can all borrow from each other and learn from each other. So I encourage you to share that with each other. Share it with your fellow composers. Share it with the performers you're working with. I'll share this draft and this idea with my performers as part of the collaborative process so that they can see where I'm coming from and that they can contribute to it as well. So let me know, what's your creative process? How do you start a piece? How do you work through the problems that face you as you become involved with writing this new work? So send me some notes. Drop me some notes in the comments here. I'm on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter. I'm on Instagram as well. And you can always visit my website, jennybrandon.com. And that's a Jenny with an I. And I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to hear about your creative process so that we can inspire each other. So until next time, I'm Jenny Brandon, and this is Jenny Brandon's Work in Progress, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.